No.
And welcome, everybody. It is Sunday night, and this is In the Batter's Box. It is the NGS Sports Weekly Baseball Show. I am your host, Ralph Garcia, joined by the cohorts and co-hosts. First from Joyzy. That seems like I was just hanging out with this guy
You're not
yesterday.
going
He is the host of the Enhanced Sports Show, Saturday 4 to 6 p.m. and co-host of In the Batter's Box, Mr. Louis Tanoa. Louis!
You're not gonna believe this, which is what happened here.
Oh, wow.
Wait,
Yeah,
no.
I just saw it. Yeah.
We got a tie game.
Tie game.
And of course, from Chicago, El Padre, working as un padre right now, Alejandro Vargas.
big time. And that is San Diego, Padre. a real one. Yeah, I'm good. Busy here, enjoying the Mets run. Man, they doing unbelievable.
And of course, my partner in crime. Well, he never committed a crime that I know of, but my partner and great friend, Mr. John Doucette. John, meet the Mets. Meet the Mets. Come on out and meet the Mets. Huh?
Well, it would appear that in the late innings, we really do need to meet them because that's when they do their best work.
They do.
Listen, people. So we obviously, first of all, the website is ngscsports.com. You can see all of your current content. Log on to the website. I'm watching a replay deep way back, and the Young Mets have tied the game at 6. Log on to the website, and you will see Mike Draculich, a busy guy in Pennsylvania. Mike reminds me, he's like John Doucette Jr. He's all over the place out there in Pittsburgh. So of course, Mike is covering the Western Pennsylvania high school football for NGSC Sports and Pittsburgh Panthers and Pittsburgh Steelers. He gives us Pittsburgh Steelers versus Dallas Cowboys game day preview. Have that game been played yet, John?
No, that's the night game.
That's a Sunday night game, right?
8:30.
Sunday night game. Sammy Sportface gives us courageous, tough, clutch. Wake Forest wins late over the Wolfpack. Of course, Boston College hitting the road at Virginia, and as John said before we came on the show, John, came up a little short.
3 fourth quarter turnovers will do you in every time, and unfortunately,
Exactly.
that's pretty much what happened, and they lose a game that was winnable for them for really at least a half, if not into that third quarter. But that meltdown in the second half, and especially in that fourth quarter,
Especially that fourth quarter. They could have dealt with some of the mistakes early on in the second half, but that fourth quarter was just. That was a killer. Okay, and Sammy Sportface also gives us Let Loose, Vandy fans. You'll remember beating Alabama forever. And that's true. That is absolutely true. All that and more on NGSCsports.com, where we never stop. We go to the Major League Baseball playoffs, but it is the ALNLDS right now, but this wild card round that we went through. Alejandro, I'm actually going to go to you first with this. So we've gone through the 2024 season here on In the Batter's Box, watched the incredible season Ohtani and others have had, and the Tigers and the Royals and the Guardians. It's like, what a season it has been. But just like that, the Houston Astros, the Baltimore Orioles, the Atlanta Braves, you're out. I mean, like, wow! Like it was like maybe one team, but I didn't expect Alejandro all 3 of these teams to be eliminated.
Brewers too. They gone too.
And the Brewers, excuse me, and the Brewers are gone.
Yeah. Hey, that tells you everything you need to know about the postseason. It's a different ball game. It's a different environment. It's a team that eventually advances. Yeah. I think. Okay, you're gonna see. Hold on, because my kid is asking for real here.
Hey,
So
hey,
Uh,
Houston. I mean, they couldn't score anything against Schoolball. Then uh, Hinch come up with an opener and kind of throws them off. I mean, that was a good strategy for a short, like a 3 game series. That was remarkable. He trying to do it again against Cleveland, AJ Hinch, and he actually got burned.
yeah.
Because he should have thrown Casey Mize yesterday. Yo sé, mi amor, pero estate tranquilo. Sorry, it's my kid is
oh, don't worry about it.
running me wild.
Parenting is allowed on this show. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean the rounds that the teams that got eliminated. I mean, you couldn't really do much. You don't have that much room to kind of bounce back. You only have 2 games, 3 games, right? And if you like lose the first one, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, you don't have.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And John,
as the Braves.
more than I did that on purpose, John. More than those teams that won. Remember again what a season it's been. The Tigers and the Royals, Detroit Tigers and the Royals. Now, 2 teams that did we really think that these 2 teams, both of them for sure, were going to make the postseason? And in case you were wondering if it was a fluke, John, both teams turn around, win both games. But wait a minute, on the road, right?
Right.
Mhm.
On the road, John, they closed them both out.
Well, I mean, in the Oriole case, again, they couldn't score.
No.
That Royal pitching staff was very good. The starters were very good. The bullpen was very good. And
Yeah.
consequently, once again, a missed opportunity for the Orioles that unfortunately they've got to figure out what is the right formula for that team to advance in the playoffs. I think in Atlanta's case, when Chris Sale couldn't pitch that second game of the doubleheader against New York last Monday and the back spasms, it thinned out a rotation that was already thin to begin with, and it certainly led to their demise.
Right.
And in Houston's case, I just think the run is over. And although there are some pitchers that will come back, 3 starters that were not a part of the rotation at any point this year will return to
The
that.
run is over. The run is over.
For guys like Alex Bregman and for guys like Justin Verlander, that's probably the end for them with that team. And they're going to begin the process of revamping that entire roster at some point.
Definitely.
Hey.
You know what surprised me? That Atlanta actually made it to the playoff because they've been hampered with injuries.
Absolutely.
I mean, they lost the best pitcher, best player. Osuna was doing great. I mean, he did really good this year. But to be honest with you, I told this to my group chat. I rather see Arizona in that round than the Braves, because the Braves they were bound to fail. I mean, you don't have players.
Well, let's face it. When Chris Sale went down, I think that was the last straw.
Yeah.
That was the end. And unfortunately for the Arizona Diamondbacks, they ended up spending that Monday at Chase Field and ended up as opposed to going somewhere.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Louis.
Mhm.
We talked about the Royals, obviously here, winning 2 straight, and their reward was a trip to the Bronx against the Yankees, and it was a great game, by the way. It's a great game.
Oh, absolutely.
Alex Verdugo came up big with the stick and the glove. So, Louis, it's 1-0. Talk about the Yankees and the World Series.
Back and forth battle. I didn't expect this coming. I mean, from a team that was in the toilet last year to where they are this year, it's been pretty remarkable. And the Royals, have some pretty big hitters out there, and they gave us a run last night. So it was a little shaky. The Yankees bullpen, I think, was a little shaky as well. Yet how some of them managed to come with a win. Now we got to see what happens in Game 2 tomorrow. So I'll be keeping my eye on that. But this Royals team is not to be taken lightly.
Alejandro.
And neither are the
Stroman is out, right?
Is
That's a
Stroman
big
out?
loss.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of pitchers out the Musgrove, Kershaw, but Kershaw and like in the Dodgers defense, you want to see Kershaw out.
I mean, really, right? Don't you,
Yeah.
Well, John? When I saw the news, I kind of said, that might work in the Dodgers' favor better than it doesn't.
Well, I think you saw the formula last night for the Dodgers advancing, and it's going to be through their bullpen. That starting rotation just isn't good enough to give them length and give them innings. It's going to have to be the bullpen, and that was a relay last night. That's all that was that Dave Roberts pulled off, and he's going to have to do it again at least 2 more times, and who knows how much longer that series lasts. But tonight's going to be difficult for them because Yu Darvish has owned the Dodgers throughout his career, both with the Cubs and now with the Padres. But that's how Roberts is going to do this. It's going to be through the bullpen.
And this question has been bothering me for this long stretch of baseball. Why in the blue hell are they pitching to Shohei Ohtani?
I know.
I mean, you should that man.
Go ahead, John. I got something on that, but go ahead, John.
He's probably the only. Hold on, John. He's probably the only guy that hit like 50 home runs and had like 80 walks.
Right.
I think only like Red Vaughn, and I don't remember. Oh, Brady Anderson was the other one. Everybody that hit 50 home runs had over 100 walks. Why are you pitching to the guy? He's gonna make you pay too.
But eventually, as the game went along, the Padre relievers figured out how to get him out, and they did. It's just that first at bat that really set the tone.
It did the damage, John.
Yeah,
it did the damage, and I'm gonna go in a way where Alejandro went, because it's crazy that you said that, Alejandro. When you were like, I gotta ask this question, and you started. I was thinking, because again, he didn't do anything afterwards. It was one at bat. But my question is, when you bring up the 50 homers, 80 walks, how do you get away from pitching this guy? I mean, if you walk him, he's dangerous on the base pass.
But
the way to beat the Dodgers is the bottom of the order. The bottom of the order has been weak basically all year for this team. It's always been a top-heavy batting lineup. But last night, the bottom of the order is what came through and provided the top with the opportunity to drive in the runs and to do what they do. But that's how to beat the Dodgers, is to make sure that it's the bottom of the order that has to come through. Last night they did. We'll see if they can continue. But the Dodger lineup doesn't have length. It never had length. But last night it did.
That's good.
Look, I have Tommy Edman in first, and I have one now, and Shohei Ohtani's coming. I go.
Yeah. Oh,
no. I'm not pitching to Shohei.
No, I'm going to let the guy behind him beat me. I'm not going to let him.
Yeah, and the thing is, Mookie Betts has been struggling, and so is Freddie Freeman. I mean, Freddie Freeman is
playing on one leg. That's what he's doing.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's no way I'm pitching to Shohei Ohtani if I'm chill. I don't know why they do it.
Especially with a man on base, especially if there's anybody on.
Especially then.
But what does Freddie Freeman do in one leg last night? He gets 2 hits and he stole a base.
And he stole a base. That's what I was going to say.
One leg.
Stole a base on that one leg. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a hell of it's
difficult.
It's a hell of a dynamic.
Difficult. Yankees, what are we going to do with Judge, man? Judge get hit in the playoff. What's going on?
Yeah.
Oy.
It is crazy.
Oy.
I thought he was going to hit better now with Judge.
What's going on with Judge in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, look, it's only been one game. There's the advantage of rest versus rust, and you're gonna get that there like a 5-day off, but I don't think it's gonna last too long. I mean, I think Judge is gonna find himself, once again, once they swim back.
He hits like 209.
Hey, I sure hope
he was tanking until last night. Our weakest hitter.
I sure hope
our accident.
I hope the Mets can pull this out while we're on the air, boy. up 2-0, 2 wins in Philadelphia. I would think that. I would think
Well,
that.
look, go back to game one last night, and
two out.
with the way that Zach Wheeler was going, was that a mistake to pull him after 7 innings?
I would not want to face Zach Wheeler again if I'm the Mets. I have to wrap this
Yeah,
up.
he's gonna be
soon
pissed.
as he
He's
can.
gonna be pissed. He's gonna be pissed. Yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But
he's
does
gonna
he get another chance at this point?
Who's
That
that?
becomes the other
Uh-oh.
question here.
Harper's up.
Oh,
Sorry,
Harper's
sorry.
up.
Take it easy,
Or-
Louis. Calm down a little.
Right, sorry.
Go to first, Harper.
Right.
Okay.
Where's my remote?
You get the
I don't know.
intentional, unintentional.
And by the way, man, in case anybody didn't notice, a damn Cleveland Guardians, boy.
Oh, I was going to talk about that right now, Ralph.
Yeah.
Go ahead, hit it, Papi, hit it.
Oh man,
I know.
a lot of people they flying under the radar, and it's so crazy. Like the Cleveland Guardians, I think, in the American League, they probably the most balanced team right now out of the people on the playoff picture. They have the defense is unbelievable. You have like guys like Andres Jimenez, which probably going to win platinum. Rochio, the shortstop, which is going to win probably Gold Glove and shortstop. Ramirez, which is playing very well defensively. I mean, you got the good pitching, and you have this bullpen that is kind of unhittable. Like everybody from the 6th on has an ERA under like 1.9. From Class A, like all those kids, they having a tremendous year, and they flying under the radar, and that is a team that's very dangerous.
Hey, John, before you go into Cleveland, I'm gonna say it. I don't know, John. It's something I've had a feeling Cleveland's coming out of the American League.
Yeah.
Well, look, they did what you want to do yesterday, which is you jump on the Tigers right away. You get 5 runs before you even record an out.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And you really put the game away basically in that first inning. And think about last offseason. The Cleveland Indians were seriously considering trading Clase because they just didn't think he was their closer.
Right. That's right.
And I think that they never pulled the trigger on that. And what he's done for them since has really formulated an entire rotation and staff that has been very good from start to finish. I think, the Tigers ace has to pitch tomorrow to bring that series back to 1-1 to get it back to Detroit. Because if the Tigers are down, then that series is going to come to an end real quickly. But you've got to look at a team that has a lineup with length. They've got a defense. They've got a pitching staff that's very good. They've got all the elements that you would need to have to make a World Series run.
Louis,
They really are.
Louis, you think you might be worried about these Guardians if you got to play?
I think even the NL wildcard people have to be worried about the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, Guardians have been a tough team all year long. I still refer to them as the Indians. I know I shouldn't, but I still do think of them as that. But Guardians are holding their own so far in these wildcard playoffs. Hey, they're not called wildcard for nothing, because these teams are really,
also
making an effort and pulling all the upsets.
Also, credit to Stephen Ball that put that formula together at the back of that bullpen, and trust these guys to do the job. He's a first-year manager. He was a great catcher, pinch hitter type of dude. And the job that he's been doing with the Cleveland Guardians is just unbelievable.
Let's see if I can do this here. It's a nationally televised game, right? So
yes.
It would not be a wise idea to do what you're thinking. You shouldn't be putting the game on while it's being played.
Yeah, I know, right? I thought about that too, Johnny. You're right. I don't think it's a problem, but anyway, Bryce Harper draws the walk. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th.
I told you, right?
Nick, you got to put him on. You got to
put him on. I mean, the guy hitting behind him is pretty dangerous too. So it's not like you're
Nick Castellanos is up to the plate.
A wider margin of error
on second. Woo, fouls it off. 0-2 pitch. Listen, the hell of a series. Number one, remember that in May, as a Met fan, some of us were already thinking about next year. Definitely
Yeah.
by June 1st, we were thinking about next year. And all of a sudden, I don't know, this turnaround by this Mets team. And I didn't want to get excited
Yeah.
as I saw it building. John, I didn't want to get excited, but it hasn't stopped in this postseason base. Now, granted, you don't want to play every single game having to come back in the 8th and 9th inning, people. Okay?
Oh
No.
boy, yeah.
No, but they know how to do it, and that's become quite a plus for them. And remember, they've done this without their best starting pitcher. They made that switch to the top of the
That's
order.
it. It's over.
Yeah.
And that has
Yeah.
worked.
Series is tied at 1.
Taken off based on that.
What a game.
It was. It was.
Yep, Castellanos gets the base hit, the winning hit, and the series is tied at 1 now. But
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah. Hey,
listen-
they get to go to New York now and do that OMG chants and all this.
Well, now they
craziness
get to
and
face Aaron Nola for game
blushing.
3, so it's not going to get any easier for the Mets. And now the advantage kind of goes to Philadelphia because of a starting rotation that is pretty good. And
Yes.
giving Zach Wheeler a second chance here, and that's going to be dangerous.
and of course for the Mets, if you're the Mets, a mission accomplished when you go on the road in a series like this. You
split, right?
you want to split. You got to get a split. You got to win one.
You
Oh,
do.
by the way, speaking of winning one, I don't know why I didn't say this. Well, because I'm behind. Congratulations to my New York Liberty of the WNBA, eliminating the 2-time defending champion Las Vegas Aces. We now move on to the WNBA Finals, awaiting the winner of the Minnesota Lynx Connecticut Sun series. I'm jacked. Like I said,
So am I.
I'm gonna be 62 in March. Okay, and God bless it. I just want one more title. Okay, goddamn, John Doucette's been living in a world where Patriots win 54 Super Bowls, the Celtics win 18 freaking titles. Okay, fine. Title town it is, but can I get one? I just want one. Liberty, Knicks, Giants.
Both of us.
Right, Louis. I just want one. I just one.
So would I.
We're so close. And the Liberty have never won one. So next series. Now, Louis, I always ask you this very important question.
Yes.
Who's the only team that can beat the Los Angeles Dodgers?
That's easy. The Dodgers themselves.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, this is a Dodger team that's beaten up, but yet they have found a formula that just might work, and it is their bullpen.
Yes, and they pulled out game 1, which is what's important, is they were able to get it right. But John, since you spoke, but what are the chances, because of what they're going through now, of them getting out of this series? Because the Padres.
But they don't fear the Padres. That's the point. They don't fear them, and they haven't feared them for quite some time. The Dodgers won last night's game, like I said earlier, because the bottom of the order was that good last night. The Padres couldn't get them out when they had to get them out. When the Padres needed to get key outs from their pitching staff last night, they just never got them. And that has been their problem every time they face the Dodgers. It never fails that when they need to get the out, they don't get it.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of thinking, Alejandro, I think the Padres it was the Padres who were 50-50 at one point. And what a finish they had. I'm wondering if they can. Yeah, they lost game 1, but they lost it early. Could they? I think they can pull the series out.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's going to be very even. In terms of the Dodgers, the way you see it, look at the roster. I mean, everybody's kind of hurt a little bit. I think Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be a key here. He's a guy that's kind of fresh. He was hurt for a good chunk of time, and then he came back right at the right time, and he's hot. So he's a guy that you got to watch. Another guy is Michael King. Michael King, well, he showed in the last series. I mean, he struck out like 12 people, 12 batters in 7 innings. He's a guy that you don't want to be messing around with.
No.
I don't think he's going to get 2 games, but the key here is going to be Darvish. Darvish, there's a lot of weight on Darvish's shoulders right now. He got to keep them afloat, and then hopefully go back to San Diego, where they play a lot better. But yeah, the Padres. I mean, the job that Mike Shield has done with that team is unbelievable. I mean, you gotta. He kind of figured out the bullpen, right? You have a lot of guys, and they went and picked up Tanner Scott. Jason Adams been doing really well for them. Suarez closing. I mean, he figured out a bullpen, which was the kind of the weak the weak points for them last season. I mean, they didn't have anybody that they could rely on the bullpen except for Hader. So Shield has done a great job, especially trusting guys like Jackson Merrill. Whatever he has done with the infield work. So yeah, man, this guy's and he got Shioka, man. Thanks to the Yankees, they got a lot of pieces there with the Soto deal because they even have Cease, which kind of came up not on that deal, but came up from one of the guys that they got for Soto. So yeah, they look okay. I like them. But you can never fall asleep with the Dodgers. I mean, this is a dangerous team, top to bottom.
I found a little something here. Anything to add, guys? Anything to add here on the because I found a little something that's pretty cute here. I don't know if it's called cute since we're a bunch of grown men, but Anthony Castrovins of MLB.com. I saw something. It said, hold on. It just caught my eye. Best moments in Division Series history. Now, where the hell is it? Okay. All I have to do is go forward, dummy. And let me see if I can get this up here. It was because you don't remember these things, right? So you got to get reminded of when they happen. I don't know if we can get it up. Let's see here. Whoa, that's not the way to do it, Ralph. You share the screen. Hold on. Let me see. This is
Love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior Speed, the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship.
Okay, so the one magic moment for the Mariners. The point to this is,
John, you got it. You're taking the fun out of it, John.
Well, I mean, that's a long time ago, and unfortunately for the Mariners, it just hasn't continued on that way for them.
No,
John. By the way, that was a tag team.
Oh, I know. I mean, that was
you got A-Rod. You got A-Rod jumping there. You got Buehner. You got Edgar.
What was that? The '95 series.
Yeah, I mean that's the year the Mariners won over 100 games, and unfortunately got beat by the Indians in the American League Championship Series, and then
that was another team that was stacked.
Yeah, I was, and unfortunately, it just didn't get there. And they've never gotten back to that point since. Unfortunately,
those were the days. The days. I wish teams could do like a lot of craziness like that. Like you put an all-star team on your roster. It's not the case anymore because
for the most part, it's unfortunate that it just didn't pan out, and it hasn't panned out for them since. And I guess if you're a Mariner fan, you probably think that that's the moment that I don't know, it went downhill. I guess because it certainly has gone downhill for them ever since that postseason came to an end. And it came to a crashing end real quick when they got to the championship series.
The 2000 and 2001 teams were really solid for the Mariners.
They just didn't do anything. They just didn't do anything.
Yes.
I think now if they could keep that core of pitching, I mean, they okay, but they need a hitter or two.
And I think the only way they're going to get a hitter is to trade one of those pitchers.
Most likely, but they do have a lot of backup coming through the minors in terms of pitching. I don't know who's doing the scouting for these guys, but they are incredible finding pitching. Brian Wood, Bryce Miller. I mean, you name them.
They've got some together, no question, but they've, like I say, one of those pitches is going to have to be used as bait to get a hitter to help Rodriguez out and to really lengthen that lineup somewhat, because at the moment it's again another top-heavy lineup that unfortunately once you get past 4 or 5 in that order, it drops off dramatically.
Oh yeah, I think the only threat you have there is Julio right now.
Right.
You got a Rosarena, but you picked a Rosarena in his worst year. So it's kind of.
And I think in Rosarena's case, I think the back end of his career is starting to show itself.
Yeah.
All right, man. I think he's got stuff to add.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, there are other things to finally throw out there. I mean, the Cincinnati Reds now have a new manager, and I think it's a very surprising choice.
Yes.
I mean, after David Bell got fired at the end of the regular season, it had inauspicious run with Cincinnati, I guess, a 409, 56 overall record during the time he was there in the 6 years that he was the manager of that team. But out of nowhere, they picked Terry Francona to become their new manager for next season. And I do think that that's a very interesting choice based on the fact that the reason why Francona left the Guardians last year was because of his health issues, that the Guardians just felt he needed to walk away from the game. But he's a lifer. There's no question about the fact that he's a lifer. And
hopefully he's feeling a lot better, because you have to deal with a young team that's free swingers. You have to deal with a pitching staff that's kind of iffy. So Terry Francona might have, if he could get these guys to play, and he could get those guys to win. My hat's off to that. I mean, he should be winning manager of the year next year if he could get them above 500 and to play and to make a push to the postseason. I mean, David Bell got fired, but they also were hampered with a lot of injuries, especially like Encarnacion Strand, which was a big part of the future. I mean, they didn't resign Bodo because of this guy, and he got hurt. McLean, the infielder, he went out almost the whole season. Steer didn't perform the way he should be. I mean, you got some good good kind of signs with Ellie De La Cruz and the way he plays running game and stuff like that. But they had a lot of injuries too. So let's see if Francona could get them to play the way they're supposed to. He should definitely win manager of the year 2020. What is it? 2024? 2025.
I think the other thing that becomes interesting here is that Buster Posey has now become the president of the San Francisco Giants. And
another one. No experience.
The lack of experience that he possesses, but I think now you understand what the Giants were doing with him when they allowed him to retire. They really were grooming him for another position inside this organization, and this appears to be the one. I think that, again, another very interesting move by a team that's really looking to put themselves back in the top half of that Western Division. Posey's got work to do here. I mean, this is a team that's also
big time
transition from what they've been to what they hope to be. And The lack of experience that Posey has, I think, is
it's going to be drastic.
yeah.
I hope. I mean, I love Posey. I love his playing style. But this is something that's kind of serious. You didn't transition him into any position. I mean, not like scouting development, not like GM, not like assistant GM. You go ahead and the guy retire, and in a couple of years, you just make him the president of operations. That's a lot. That's a big decision, man. But I guess he's ready for it. Who knows?
I would think over the past couple of years, what Posey's been doing is that he has been given an up and down carte blanche look at the way the Giants have run this organization, and from the financial point of view, from the player development point of view, everything, so that he can at least have a bit of an understanding of what he's getting into. But still, the decisions that he's going to have to make right off the bat are going to be, I think, what tells where the Giants are going here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Louis,
I don't.
Louis, I still hate the Yankees, Louis. Thought you should know.
I know. Some things never change.
And then where does Skip Schumacher end up now that he's not in Miami? Where does he go?
I don't know. I hope he goes back to St. Louis, but
Yeah.
Well,
my
speaking
team
of
is
St. Louis,
my,
you know,
my
I-
team is my team is trash, and as bad as they done, I mean, you're gonna still like wait one more year to can these idiots that are running the show there.
Well, I mean, we now have Hiram Bloom.
You're just
and-
killing. I heard like even Bali's now dropping them. That's crazy. Because St. Louis is
No.
probably
We need to do another show about Bally Sport because unfortunately there are 9 teams, 9 of them,
11.
that don't have television contracts for next year.
Oh my.
well, as long as they pay St. Louis the money that they promised, which I doubt that.
Which I doubt.
But
But there
yeah.
are plenty of teams that all of a sudden do not have television contracts for next year.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, we definitely need to get on that.
but I
We're
think
gonna start next week with that.
I think
Let me
the
do my
worst
research.
story of them all is the Miami Marlins. Not only did they get rid of Schumacher, which probably wasn't that big of a surprise, but then they went ahead and they just took the axe to their staff. Since the end of the regular season, they've already fired 70 staff members. They have just gone nuts with
They cleaning house.
they're absolutely cleaning house, and you got to wonder where they're going with this.
And you know what surprised me? The way they dealt with everything on the trade deadline, because they were winners in the trade deadline. So now you're doing all this. It's kind of a really confusing move. Because if you go ahead and add all the talent that they add, all the young talent, all the prospects that they add, and then all of a sudden you're cleaning house, these kids are going to be confused. They're going to be like, what in the world are we doing now?
And more importantly, why would you want to work for this team?
Well, I mean, you're on the contract if you're a talent. So I mean, it's not you can do, but it's really confusing.
I mean, but I mean, if you're looking for a front office job, this isn't a team that you're looking to. This isn't your first
It's
priority.
a temporary thing. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
just not your first priority because if you don't get anything done, you're going to get fired immediately.
They haven't named a manager yet, right?
No, they have not, and neither. Again, why would you?
Why I keep hearing like Jeff Conine in there as an option?
Again, a guy that has absolutely no experience at the managerial level of any kind, and you're going to throw him into a situation that really isn't very good from the inside or the outside.
Oh, he's gonna have a stomach ulcer.
Yeah, I don't understand what the Marlins are doing. I don't understand why Major League Baseball is allowing them to do this because they're just destroying whatever they possess. It's
Yeah,
not much.
what got me really confused as a baseball kind of lifer or baseball student like myself, why you do all these moves and why you revamp your farm system when you're gonna cut the guy that's gonna run the show, and when you're gonna cut a lot of people on your staff, like that's kind of weird. I don't know. You can't pinpoint a direction.
No, there is no direction.
No.
Nope. So
Except the
here we
wrong
have
direction.
it. Here we have it, boys. Another week in the hole. Another game this evening, tomorrow, American League. Hey, let's see who's left next week, right? Louis, final thought.
Yeah, I'm going to bring that myself. I mean, this has been a very wild and wacky wild card series so far. I mean, nobody expected the Royals or Tigers to be there, or I mean, never mind win. I didn't expect them to be there, and they've surprised us all. Braves, I'm not really too surprised at it because they had a lot of injuries this season, and I think it already just caught up with them. So I wasn't really too surprised, that they got eliminated. They were lucky to get there, you know. Even though they choked in that first game with the doubleheader on Monday, I kind of knew that what they've been going through this season with Acuna, especially with injury. Even if they made the wild card, I didn't think they were going to get very far. So Atlanta's departure doesn't really surprise me at all. And the D-backs, yeah, the same thing. I mean, they just didn't have lamps. So,
yeah.
But for the most part, it's been unexpectedly wild. What can I say? And of course,
Wow.
Yankees, yeah, get ready.
Alejandro?
I'm excited. Tomorrow starts AFL, Arizona Fall League.
Yes.
And a plethora of good prospects. You're going to see a lot of 17-year-old kids in there, which is kind of wild. But I'm looking forward to get a glimpse of the future there.
Yeah, I think the Arizona Fall League has become something that I think just needs to be publicized more. I just don't think it gets the kind of attention that it really deserves because of the talent that ends up going there for a month and a half to play. And really, it is the future of Major League Baseball. And unfortunately, it just doesn't get the attention it deserves.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's just continuing the baseball, man. I mean, great baseball so far. I love seeing what the Guardians and the Tigers and the Royals are doing, and the fact that one of those three teams literally has a chance to win it all. I mean, especially the Tigers and the Royals. That's what baseball is all about. That's what baseball is all about. So let's enjoy it. Enjoy it. Next week we'll come back.
Who would have thought that three teams in the AL Central would have been still alive, huh?
Because when you look at it,
if you look at the Minnesota Twins, you're thinking about a missed opportunity for them because that last month of the season they couldn't score, they couldn't hit, that bullpen fell apart, and unfortunately for them, it created a losing streak that they just never could overcome.
We'll be back next week. Talk more baseball. Guys will decide if it's Thursday or Sunday. Sunday's fine with me, but we'll all decide that. But thank you for joining us this week. It's in the Batter's Box. Remember the website. It's ndscsports.com. You catch all of your current content. Till then, peace.